All right. A lot of controversy surrounding the equipment that you use to create a piece of work. For your creative work, there are some controversy surrounding the equipment used. What I'm going to tell you today is my views on what that is. But I'm also going to let you in on the most uh, rated, or should I say, the most repeated comment or controversy surrounding that equipment. Welcome, story lovers, to the Story Dude Show with your host, Jared Dean Winchester, bringing you another episode for the month of January in 2023. So let's get right into it, shall we? All right. Now, the most common objection or comment that I've heard in this whole controversy of the equipment used in creative work is the following. If you don't use a certain piece of equipment, then you ain't a professional. For example, if you don't use the 5D Mark III, the Canon 5D Mark III, you are not a professional. So to bring some context into this, when I was going to film school, the 5D Mark III DSLR camera was the most talked about camera of that time, and it was the most sought after camera for filmmakers. And considering the fact that the Canon DSLR market, especially the 5D series, sparked a DSLR revolution in filmmaking, I can completely understand why this comment or why this misconception came about. Because it's full frame, the sensor is full frame, it's got a lot of features that filmmakers wanted, like Z exposure compensation, and the what you may call yeah, so for the zebra lines and whatnot. Focus peaking is another one. That's what we heard. But I'm here to tell you that equipment doesn't matter. Now, in the context of the unnecessary equipment, doesn't matter. With all the bells and whistles that a camera like the 5D Mark III offered, it's not going to do you any good if your content ain't any good. So my advice to you filmmakers is to get the correct equipment, the right kind of equipment for your project. To do this, you need to be having a long discussion with your cinematographer, or your DP as they are sometimes referred to as, which means that based on the equipment that the cinematographer has or doesn't have, you should be able to use whatever equipment that you have or whatever equipment that your cinematographer has to your advantage. And that would mean understanding the strengths and weaknesses, working around those weaknesses, and then saying, okay, I can make something with this. I can work around this. I can work with my creative choices. I can set my creative choices based on this, which is why I say to you, the right kind of equipment matters, not the equipment itself per se. Now, I would also recommend that if you are going to invest in some equipment, something that gives you the kind of look that you want, and so you can try to manipulate it so that you are getting the results that you want, rather than the equipment, you relying on the equipment to give you those results. And here's another example that I'm going to give you to justify this. Having the best kitchen in the world, making tasty food, is not the way to do it, because there are some people who think that the best equipment for the kitchen will cook delicious food. Now, that is another comparison that I've just made. Do think about that. So if you are having a camera, make a film, use what you got, work around the weaknesses, and see if you can apply your creative flair, which is precisely what I'm going to be practicing from here on out, because even all the money in the world cannot do the job. It can, but it won't help. So whether or not you have a $3,000 camera versus a $30,000 camera, say for instance the red range cameras, or something like the Blackmagic Ursa camera, you are the one that is creating this piece of work. You are the one that will be doing this. You are the one that will be putting this out. So you are the one that's going to be using it, or rather your cinematographer will be the one using it in most cases. In that case, work around it. Work around the weaknesses. Use it to your advantage, is what I'm saying. And always, always, always go for the right kind of equipment. And this is something, like I said, will be my mantra, and this is something that I'm going to be going by. I'm going to be taking my own advice from here on out and using the equipment that I have to make my films and see where this goes. And once I get to a point where I can make bigger budget films, that's when the right kind of equipment needs can change. So with that being said, this is Jared Dean Winchester, also known as the Story Dude. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because I post anywhere between 2 to 3 episodes per month of the show. So be sure to check them all out. And until I see you again, don't forget to turn that page.